invisible, yet we see it everywhere in everything. There's one power indescribable, yet we speak of it in every word we say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. It's one power, one power, one power.
Let us begin our time of sacred togetherness by settling in, by arriving, by acknowledging that we are right here, right now. Notice how you are sitting in your chair and see if you can find a position that allows you to be relaxed and alert at the same time. When you find that place, settle in, perhaps close your eyes and take a breath. Simply notice the breath as it enters your body. Don't try to change or manipulate it. Just let it be and follow it wherever it takes you. As you gently continue to follow your breath, do a scan of your body. Do you notice any sensations or tension? Do you sense any feelings in your body of tightness or warmth or tingling? On your next breath, notice your mind. Is it restless, chattering, at ease, filled with thoughts or doubts? Whatever you notice, try to say, that feeling, hello there, and then just release it. If you like, put both hands over your heart and continue your breathing. Check in with yourself and ask how it feels to put your hands over this place where you experience love for yourself and for others. As you become aware of your own heart, notice what you feel. At this moment, it could be love, or hurt, or pain, or joy, or something way more complicated. Whatever it is, embrace that feeling, and then let it go. Now take your next breath right into your heart, and as you exhale, imagine love from your heart filling up every nook and cranny in your body. See your body filled with the warm glow of love. On your next breath, exhale that same love into the room and imagine it flowing out of you in a wave of tenderness and joy. You might even see our clouds of love mingling and forming a beautiful cushion of comfort and pure joy around us all. And so it is.
It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunlight on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. Oh, it's one power. It's the power of the love that lives in you It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. It's one power, one power, one power. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you.
Oh, precious soul, as the sun rises in the east, may we be reminded of the sun that rises in each one of us on this perfect morn. As the sun rises in the east to cast itself upon the entirety of creation with such an unbounded indiscretion, may we be reminded of the sun which rises in each of us to issue forth its love with just such a givingness.
And the pure light within you guide your way on.
Oh, precious soul, as the sun rises in the east, may we be reminded of the sun which rises in each of us on this perfect morn. As the sun rises in the east to cast ample light for yet another daily sojourn through the endlessness of space and time, may we be reminded of the sun which rises in each of us, equally eager to cast its light upon the paths of our days, equally eager to guide our way on.
Guide your way on.
Oh, precious soul, as the sun rises in the east, may we be reminded.
Guide your way on. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning. So, Aiden and I just got back from Unity Village International YOU Conference. And he is going to tell you a little bit about it, and then I'm going to say something amazing about him. So
good morning, y'all. It was a lot of fun. What should I say about it?
what did we do? What was the theme?
Our theme was the universe is a work of art. Yeah, someone has my shirt still, so can't really show you. It was definitely fun. It was hot, humid. We had a warm thunderstorm there for a bit. Not fun. What else?
What did you take away from it?
Oh, a lot of things. To deal with heat, number one. Just don't be like mean to other people, because most people can impact your life more than you think they can. So, yeah. A lot of people were really nice there. So they accepted me who I was, and like that, like after day one, I was opened up and really comfortable talking to people. She was in my family. You can even ask her. I was really, really quiet on the first day. Kind of scary quiet.
Like, I did not know who this kid was.
What else?
Favorite parts?
Favorite part? The 3-mile nature walk someone didn't take with us. It was pretty cool. I was able to talk to some people. Yeah.
So, like Aiden says, he was so quiet on the first day. I was like, he's not enjoying himself, and he's not really connecting. And I didn't know. I've never seen him like that. He was so nervous. And by day 2, I want to say, he had been asked to MC the Spirit Share, which is our talent show. Normally that's done with seniors. This is his first time there. He was already like all in it. So he did an amazing job with that. He joined the photography team. He took amazing pictures that you can see up here. They asked him to add and be part of the final slideshow for the event. So he just was a bright star, and I was just so honored to be there with him, and he really is truly an amazing person. So thank you so much for all of your support, and that's what sends us to that. I also have just one more quick announcement, super exciting news, and that is that tomorrow night, Rabbi Ted will be joining Uniteens and YOU at 7 p.m. downstairs in the YOU room for a talk about dealing with anxiety, dealing with stress, just real ways to walk through this world. And I'm super excited about it. If you have any teens that you know that might want to join us, all are welcome. So thank you.
Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender.
Wow, what a great group. Thank you all. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood, where we do welcome and celebrate everyone, whoever, wherever you are. We open our arms and our hearts to all, no matter your age, your chosen pronoun, your sexual orientation. And by the way, I have to call for the 3 of you who care. I'm wearing my pride shoes. Should have been last month, but I know, we got to follow the shoes, right? Yeah, we don't care what religion you walk in here with, or even the quality of your driver's license photo. I don't know about you, it's not so good. Anyway, speaking of opening up, I have been continually reminded what an incredible and loving community we have here. To put it mildly, my family has been going through a little bit of a rough patch for about the last 3 years. And I don't know about you, but I find myself stubbornly thinking the following. If I'm a good person, if I'm kind, if I open my heart to help others, if I stay present and conscious most of the time, well then, bad things won't happen to me. Anybody else feel that way? Yeah. I'm not really sure why this is, but of course, it's not true. Every life, no matter how charmed it may appear, no matter how photoshopped on Instagram, no matter what filter, we all have our share of heartache and of loss and of pain. No human being can avoid it. Being human means that we have to face the burden of being so. Now, it's true in my particular corner of the world, we've had one disaster, challenge, tragedy, and heartbreak after another, culminating in my mother's death exactly 2 weeks ago. As I was enduring that first week after her passing, I had a profound realization that it wasn't the things that happened to me that matter, it's how I show up for those things that makes a difference. It's who holds my hand. Okay, I got through first service without crying. Let's see if I can hold it together. It's the sweet embrace. It's the kind hug. It's the heartfelt, I'm sorry. The genuine concern that was shown to me. In the past, I don't think I had enough self-love to let that comfort in. I likely would have stoically pushed it aside. Thanks. But what I realized during this time is that it's these relationships, it's being in the moment with these other souls that makes my life, my existence on this planet worth living. And while that's in my life in general, it's particularly apparent here at Unity in Lynnwood, and I encourage you all to take advantage of these blessings and to give freely of yourselves. Thank you. So, Stacy didn't mention it, but it is the second Sunday of the month. And so if you're looking to feel some of this amazing love, please join us in Friendship Hall after service. And since it is Youth and Family Ministry Sunday, the kids and their teachers are preparing an awesome spread. And all donations made there will go towards all those fantastic programs that you heard about. So, one important way that we practice our connection with God here at Unity in Lynnwood is through affirmative prayer. I really had no idea what this was 3 years ago, frankly, and so now I am immensely grateful that I've had the opportunity to learn and to practice, operative word being practice, my prayer. Like playing an instrument or learning how to cook, the more you practice, the better you get, and by better, with prayer, that means that the practice becomes a little more easy, a little more fluid, and the benefits more profound. If you are needing or wanting some prayer support, there are many ways to get it here. There's a prayer slip in the seat pocket of the chair in front of you. You can fill that out, slip it in the offering basket, and our chaplains will pray over that this week. Uh-oh. You can also visit our website, or go online with our app and leave a prayer request there. And you can call our confidential prayer line. Lots of ways to do it. And finally, of course, if you would like to meet in person with a prayer chaplain after service today, you have the option to do that. I can tell you that when those prayer chaplains surrounded me 2 weeks ago today, it was a pretty moving experience. I felt a little like Dorothy at the end of The Wizard of Oz, surrounded by all that love. It was really profound. And I'd like to recognize today's chaplains who are serving after service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all, my girls. Affirmations and denials are another way that we practice here at Unity. Charles Fillmore says, affirmations are for the purpose of establishing in our consciousness a broad understanding of the principles on which all life existence depends. The more often you present to your mind a proposition that is logical and true, the stronger becomes that inner feeling of security to you. Today's affirmation is displayed on the screen, and I invite you to listen while I read it, and then please feel free to stand to join me in reading it together. Even as my earthly vision beholds transient facts and temporary circumstances, I affix my spiritual vision upon eternal truths and divine possibilities. Please join me. Even as my earthly vision beholds transient facts and temporary circumstances, I affix my spiritual vision on eternal truths and divine possibilities. Let's take a moment to greet each other, shall we?
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Change can come on tiptoe. Love is where it starts. It resides, often hides deep within our hearts. And just as pebbles make a mountain, raindrops make a sea, one day at a time, change begins with you and me. Ordinary miracles happen all around. Just by giving and receiving comes belonging and believing. Every sun that rises never rose before. Each new day leads the way through a different door, and we can all be quiet heroes, living quiet days, walking in the world, changing it in quiet ways. Ordinary miracles, like candles in the dark, each and every one of us lights a spark. And the walls can tumble, and the mountains can move, the winds and the tide can turn. Yes, ordinary miracles, one for every star, no lightning bolt or clap of thunder, only joy and quiet wonder. Endless possibilities right before our eyes. Oh, see the way a miracle multiplies. Now hope can spring eternally, just plant it and it grows. Love is all that's necessary, loving its extraordinary way. Makes ordinary miracles every blessed so much. Thank you.
Woo! Welcome home, Matthew, right? Welcome home, Matthew. Welcome home, Reverend Nina, both representing unity and Lynnwood in our greater community last Sunday. 3 people. Elizabeth, 3 people interested in your pride shoes. I think you underestimate. Oh, thank you for what you share. You know, I used to believe as well that if I read my scriptures every evening and helped little old people across the street, at the time they were 54. I've allowed that idea to evolve as I have indeed evolved. But I used to think that if I did that, I too perhaps would transcend the world of difficulty, you know, such as, you know, coming to church on a Sunday only to spill coffee on one's cream-colored pants. You know, can the online audience see that? No, they cannot. Okay. Oh. Small group ministry. If you are one who provides consistent support for others, please allow the caregiver support group to support you. Karen Anderson, are you in the room this morning? Would you stand and let us put an eyeball on you? She facilitates this wonderful opportunity. And where do you meet today, Karen? In the family room. All are welcome. Upcoming Students of Myrtle Group on the last Sunday of every month at 9 o'clock. The ongoing women's group. We emphasize that because the visioning process is complete. You are now invited to bring an item for the altar to the next meeting. I have no greater detail than that, so I trust there's a wisdom in you that is capable of making a wise choice. Every service has an ambassador. This person's role, whether you've been here 1 week or 10 years, this person's role is to support you in your exploration and discovery of this idea we call unity. So if you have a question about what we believe, about what we teach, or about what is available to you, and we have a lot available to you, you're welcome to engage him in conversation, that they might have a face for a name. Lynn Burton Harden, will you wave to these kind people, please? Oh, the class is called Prosperity. Sorry, Cameron, I'm unpredictable today. It's the first time it's ever happened. The class is called Prosperity. It begins on the 23rd. It's a 5-week class that is SEE accredited. It's been written, examine the teachings of Fillmore, Butterworth, and Lynn Twist, explore the meaning of prosperity beyond material things. Whew. I like that. Create practices to discover and address unexamined, unconscious assumptions about abundance, giving, and generosity. There are 3 required books. They're all available in your gift shop. Unity would say that there are 12 spiritual powers which are ever active within you. Now, of themselves, these 12 spiritual powers are really quite benign. You are free to use your powers to great light or to great shadow, for collective evolution or for collective stagnation, toward that which unites and harmonizes or toward that which separates and weaponizes. The powers themselves do not care how you use them. They are not predisposed in any fashion whatsoever. Now, pressed to its ends, this becomes something of an uncomfortable proposition for many. It's uncomfortable because instead of celebrating God in moments of great light and blaming Satan in moments of deep shadow, instead of lauding God for moments of evolution and change and charging Satan with moments of stagnation, instead of praising God and in that which unites and harmonizes, and cursing Satan in that which separates and weaponizes, we come to an understanding in which we live in the infinite, indivisible potentiality that is God, and that our moments of light and shadow, stagnation and evolution, unity and separation aren't so much products of cosmic forces as they are products of human choices. The great gift of the universe, you see, isn't so much light, evolution, and unity as it is choice. And what exists at the point of choice? Well, you do, and I do, and we do. And this series, what's it called again, Cameron? Stuff I Just Want to Say. Thank you for that. It's really the product of my desire to highlight certain condensed ideas that I believe to be worthy of our conversation as co-sojourners on this spiritual path. This would be the first of those condensed ideas. Unity would say that you have 12 powers which are ever active within you of themselves. These 12 powers are really quite benign. Now, each of these powers is thought to have a seat, if you will, in a physical location within the body, and there's a power that's thought to have its seat right here. Yes, some of you are doing it. Is it there? What? Hello? 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 In the third eye area. And this is your spiritual power of imagination. Now, to find your spiritual power of imagination is exactly what you think it is. It's not esoteric or mystical. Your spiritual power of imagination is your ability to envision that which does not yet exist in the world of form. Okay? It's a power that is immensely creative, and it makes sense when you think about it. When we envision that which does not yet exist in the world of form, when we inject something of our spiritual power of faith into that envisioning and enact those spiritual powers which sequence and choose and endure, we have charted something of a creative course, don't you think? We envision that which doesn't exist. We foster something of a belief in that envisioning. We say yes to some choices. We say no to some choices, and we stay the course. And that's how we create, right? And if you can accept this as a working model, I mean, even if for the next 16 minutes and 25 seconds, let us become willing to ask ourselves, how am I really using my spiritual power of imagination today? If my imagination doesn't care how I use it, and if I truly stand at a point of power with every choice, then how am I really using my spiritual power of imagination today? Am I using that power to great light or to great shadow, for collective evolution or for collective stagnation, toward that which unites and harmonizes, or toward that which separates and weaponizes? Do I spend more time imagining the problem or the solution? It's a point of fascination for me that to use our spiritual power of imagination to great light for collective evolution or toward that which unites and harmonizes is so frequently shunned by society. I'm following one political bid in which a candidate has highlighted the appropriateness of compassion and humanity and integrity in all political conversations. This candidate has suggested that there is a moral compass within the hearts of all humanity that transcends religion and ethnicity, geography and status and party, and that it is fitting, even necessary, for us to preserve a place at the political table for that moral compass. And that candidate has suggested that we're not there yet. We're not there. And I like to think that disagreement would be tough to find. Do we still have work to do in accelerating compassion, in accelerating humanity, in accelerating integrity in our individual and collective lives? Well, I think so. If there's an exception in this room, please don't raise your hand, but see me after. I have some learning to do from you. And the response has been to demonize this candidate. Demonize this candidate as airy-fairy and Pollyannish, a hippie of sorts, lacking in the gritty reality of what is required in this dog-eat-dog world. It's a point of fascination for me that to use our power of imagination to great light for collective evolution or toward that which unites and harmonizes is so frequently shunned by society. It's a point of fascination for me that to shoot high gets laughs and to shoot low gets applause. We become cynical, you see. We've become more comfortable with the mediocrity of our lowest expectations than with the discomfort of our highest dreams. So when we ask, how am I really using my spiritual power of imagination today, understand that to use it for those highest of dreams is to counter the race consciousness of that cynical society. It takes courage to use your spiritual power of imagination for light when you're immersed in shadow. It takes great courage to use your spiritual power of imagination for collective evolution when you're surrounded by stagnation. It takes courage to use your spiritual power of imagination for unity when you are surrounded by separation. But that's how change comes. It comes through courageous spiritual practice. One root of our unity movement was established by the work of co-founder Myrtle Fillmore. She was given a diagnosis at an early age. I like to think that she was inadvertently asked in that moment, how will you use your spiritual power of imagination today? Can anyone relate? And to be brief, it's quite clear that she chose the courageous spiritual practice of imagining a possibility beyond that which was handed to her. And as we may or may not know, the very start of the unity movement rose from her remarkable return to physical health and her ultimate longevity. She lived to 86 years. The very start of the unity movement, I believe, rose from her willingness to teach others how to do that.
part of my body and have it do just what I wanted. I began to teach my body and got marvelous results.
Instead of seeing her body as weak, inefficient, and diseased, she began speaking words of strength and power to every part of her body: her liver, stomach, abdomen, limbs, eyes, and heart.
I didn't get discouraged at their being slow to wake up, but kept right on, both silently and aloud, declaring words of truth until they did respond. And neither did I forget to tell them that they were free, unlimited spirit. I told them they were the centers of life and energy, omnipresent.
Myrtle began regularly affirming,
I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness.
By repeating this affirmation, Myrtle believed she was going to get better. And 2 years later, she did. In 1888, she was healed of the tuberculosis condition that had threatened her life. Myrtle remained committed to blessing and encouraging her body with true thoughts and words.
I became very watchful as to what I thought and said. I didn't let any worried or anxious thoughts into my mind. And I stopped speaking gossipy, frivolous, petulant, angry words.
Myrtle was excited by her healing discovery, and so were her family and friends. She began working with others in need of healing. In time, her husband Charles Fillmore began his own practice of prayer and meditation. He began to heal from an ice skating accident he had at age 10. In 1889, inspired by Myrtle's transformation, the Fillmores founded the Unity Movement in Kansas City, Missouri, as a healing ministry based on the power of prayer and the power of thoughts to create reality. In 1890, the couple pioneered a prayer outreach that grew into Silent Unity, the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week prayer ministry that still serves the world today.
I want everybody to know about this beautiful, true law and to use it. It is not a new discovery, but when you use it and get the fruits of health and harmony, it will seem new to you, and you will feel that it is your own discovery.
Myrtle Fillmore made her transition on August 6, 1931, at age 86. Her work lives on through Silent Unity and the inspiring manuscripts and personal papers in the Myrtle Fillmore collection at the Unity Library and Archives. The collection is being digitized for online access. To learn more or help support this effort, visit unity.org.
The understanding is that Myrtle, through her spiritual work, she knew she was passing, even in her later good health, and she went from employee to employee, just sharing gratitude and saying farewell. Isn't that beautiful? You know, I'd like to acknowledge that I don't agree with all of the details offered. So if you don't agree with all of the details offered, take a deep breath. Welcome to Unity. That's okay. But do I believe that there's rich value in the general teaching? I truly, truly do. You see, your consciousness, I might say that mental frame which you hold is like a set of blinders. You are more likely to lead yourself towards something of a healing when your consciousness can see it as possible or true. And you are less likely to lead yourself towards something of a healing when your consciousness cannot see it as possible or true. And that's why prayer matters. You are even more likely to lead yourself toward something of a healing when you can see it as possible or true and a bunch of other people can see it with you. So I suppose the argument can be made that one must resist the temptation to pray with others who can't see further than oneself. In other words, I suppose the argument can be made that courageous spiritual practice requires one to choose counter to that tribal self that desires to stand shoulder to shoulder with those whose mental frames match one's own. In a very real sense, courageous spiritual practice requires one to be uncomfortable. Jesus, the rabbi, is reported to have said that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I do not believe this is because he perceived the universe to be cruel. It's because limitation tends to breed limitation, and possibility tends to breed possibility. If you're poor, your best prayer partner is one capable of imagining possibility beyond your poverty. If you're sick, your best prayer partner is one capable of imagining possibility beyond your illness. If you are stuck, your best prayer partner is one capable of imagining possibility beyond your limitation. And if you are dissatisfied, your best prayer partner is one capable of imagining possibility beyond your stagnation. You see, the consciousness which limits is not the same consciousness that frees. Your best prayer partners may not be your friends. In a later letter to a small community of Jesus followers, you understand they did not consider themselves Christians. They did not seek to establish a new religion. And while biblical books are often named to honor another, there's reason to believe this letter probably dates to Paul himself. And this is important because some really disappointing things were reported to have been said by Paul. And it's entirely possible that this was the work of some later correctors, really. It's important. He wrote, "Finally, people, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things." Now, could Paul be implying that rather than to continue our apathetic enslavement to our own toxic thinking, that we are to assume some proactive authority over our mental households instead? Could he have been implying such a radical thing? Could he be implying that we might rise above some of the effects of our own limited thought with a little practice? I like to think so. Think on these things. Now, the Greek word translated to think would be closer to put together with one's mind, or to occupy oneself with reckoning. So whatever is true, put your mind together with it. Ooh, that's richer, I think. And whatever is beautiful, well, occupy yourself with reckonings of it. So, I'm hopeful to be telling the truth to you at this moment. When you entered the room, you were given a piece of paper. Oh, now that's a lot of dazed-looking faces. So please show me that I'm telling you the truth here today. Okay, thank you. We will place a semicolon at the end of our conversation with a time of writing. And so before we write, I will simply ask you a few questions with our eyes closed. I'll give you the opportunity to be with what rises on the mental screen of your awareness. We have a hand over here, which I can only interpret to mean it has no paper. Thank you. I love being with you. Truly, I do. You are proof of possibility in our world in such beautiful ways. If you're online, you're welcome to join us in this experience. Grab a piece of paper or parchment or a stone and a chisel, however you do that. A Dremel, I don't know. This will last just a couple minutes, and let's close those outer eyes and let us dance with self and some discovery. Let's begin by thinking about life. Think about that thing you already know what it is, whether it's physical or emotional, relational, society. Think about that thing. Think about that uncomfortable friend, if you will, who comes only to guide you towards some form of healing. As you consider this uncomfortable friend, allow yourself to consider the question, how am I really using my spiritual power of imagination today? And am I willing to choose again? Am I dwelling in the race consciousness of a cynical society, and am I willing to choose again? Am I acquiescing to the low expectations born of self-preservation? And am I willing to choose again? Might I be perpetuating some learned pessimism? And am I willing to choose again? Willing to choose again? Am I willing to choose again? And as the music begins, you're welcome to close this time together with some writing, or welcome to just remain in this space. you. Thank you. I'd like to welcome, representing the local humanitarian outreach ministry, who have launched a project called Hands on Housing. Would you join me in making welcome John Brooks and Tim Boakes, please?
Good morning. So, let me go next slide here. When I first saw this project, the first thing that came to my mind, anybody remember Alice's Restaurant? Arlo Guthrie? Armed with picks, axe, rakes, shovels, and other implements of destruction, we proceeded to take out, well, in this case, the landscaping. So, August 3rd, not too far away, we're going to come together as a community, and I believe we have close to 90 people signed up already, which is pretty cool, to go to an older woman's home, just lost her husband, and to transform what she can't do, okay? So one of the things I'm going to ask today, before you leave, if you've signed up, check your paperwork out, make sure your background checks, nobody convicted, we're good, okay? Things like that are in order, your emails. Next week you'll be receiving a small flyer which will have the address of the house. We have a pickup at a church nearby because there's not enough parking for 90 people. We'll have shuttles running, and we're going to ask for just a couple more things. If you have, I don't know, a dump truck laying around, or two, that would be useful. But as you can see here, there's a lot of beautiful things that this woman has from a plant perspective, hidden, that we're going to uncover. We've got YOU's got their own project that they're going to do. So I'd like to invite you, if you have shovels, picks, axe, rakes, things like that, put your name on them, come on out, and we'd love to have you. Is it 27th, Daniel? On the 27th, we have a little pre-work party, which is a Saturday at approximately 9 in the morning until whatever we get away with. We got to cut away a lot of the shrubs from the house, power wash it, pressure wash it, get it ready for our work the following Saturday. So if you're not doing anything, contact Daniel or myself, and we'd love to have whatever you can give us. So thanks for your participation. Can't wait to see you.
And we've got some carpentry and structural projects to do. We've got some fascia to replace. We've got gutters that are kind of sagging, need to be touched up a bit. We're going to build some raised garden beds for her. She's an avid gardener. She loves plants. She's just not able to keep up with her place. And I can't keep up with mine, so I'm totally sympathetic to being 83 and having a house. Yes, and for those of you who have signed up back in March, double check that you're still signed up, and if you can't come, cross your name off. Double check that your email address is legible. We've had some emails bounce back, and this is the last day that you can sign up to get a t-shirt if you're going to be coming. So for those of you who are going to know you're going, sign up for your t-shirt, and we look forward to it. We had a session there yesterday, kind of a scouting out session. I just have to tell you, it was a lot of fun. So you'll have fun if you come with us. Thanks.
Yeah, as you can imagine, that takes a lot of coordination, 90 people, so do double check there. Well, now is the time that we'd like to give you the opportunity to give back to this incredible community, in case you don't have a sense yet of how incredible we are. As Anne Frank said, no one has ever become poor by giving. As we prepare these offerings, I'd like to invite you to please join me in saying this blessing for those who give and for what is given. I infuse this gift with love. I dedicate this gift to possibility. I release this gift in faith.
Blessed always, blessed always,
We'd also like to take a moment to thank our online community for their generous donations made online. And thank you, ushers, for your service. Just as a reminder, Unity in Lynnwood also does its own tithing, and Reverend Nina gave me these checks that we will be mailing out today to the following organizations: the Human Rights Campaign, the Equal Rights of Washington, and Coconut House. So thank you all for your generosity today. And so it is. Okay, thank you. We do like to be a welcoming community here, and to that extent, we would like to recognize anyone who might be visiting us for the first time today. Do we have anybody who's new to Unity today? Would you raise your hand? All right, woo! She stands up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new or newer, we would like to let you know of some things that are available to you. There's a newcomer's card in the seat in front of you, just got some information there. There's a DVD as you exit the sanctuary on the left that gives you more information about who we are and what we do. There's also a stay in touch card in there. If you leave us your email, leave it off at the Welcome and Information Station. You'll get 2 beautiful emails a month about all this great stuff that's happening, some of which you heard about, some of which we don't have time to tell you about. Also, feel free to visit the gift shop for a complimentary copy of the Daily Word. And we are glad you're here. Welcome. Join us in Friendship Hall after service. So, a couple of announcements. As always, for more information, do visit the Welcome and Information Station. Today's flowers, we had a lot of people dedicating today. First are dedicated by Howard Shermack for Judy Shermack, by Molly Linville as a belated wish for Callie Gray, by Tim Vokes in honor of Sammy and Sasha's 15th birthday today, born in Siberia, some godforsaken place. So happy birthday to them. By Colleen White, happy birthday to her son Michael, his wife Amy, and her granddaughter Mariah. If you would like to make a flower donation, you may do so in our gift shop for a suggested love offering of only $10. All are welcome next week at the All Community Picnic, Sunday, July 21st at Lindale Park. Please allow your leaders to thank you for your gifts of time, talent, and treasure. Special events for our youth will be offered as well. UIL will provide humanely sourced meat and vegetarian options, and you're invited to bring a side or dessert in a reusable or compostable container, please. Today is the last day to register. One man's trash is another woman's treasure, as the saying goes. Oh, I edited Dr. Richard. Announcing a fun, lightning. Announcing a fun, well-organized, attractive, everybody-in upscale Rummage-style fundraiser on August 4th, someday, August 24th. I got so excited because I have some really cool jewelry I'm going to be bringing to that. And you know I know how to accessorize, right? Just saying. Just to be clear, there will be no trash. Join the effort by donating your clean, undamaged, new, gently used, or vintage items on any Sunday. Art, electronics, household items, books, CDs, tools, clothing, and more. I'm going to be doing some shopping. We also welcome your ideas and help. Just register at the Welcome and Information Station, where you will find Nancy or Rosalie, project co-chairs. Finally, please welcome John Brooks and Julie Newman, representing Unity in Lynnwood's Board of Trustees, to the platform for a quarterly financial update. Transparency is how we do business here at UIL.
Thank you, and hello. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. So we would like you to know that your Board of Trustees is pleased to address you today, and we promise to remain responsive and diligent in our stewardship of this divine idea that we share. And so beginning today, we will be offering the community quarterly financial updates in July and April, in addition to our January annual review and October membership meetings.
This has been a very exciting year at Unity Lynnwood, and that's just so far. The start of 7 small ministry gatherings, the start of a relationship with the Islamic Center of Puget Sound, our vibrant and growing youth and family ministry, and wedding and event gazebo, just to name a few. All of this is made possible by your high vision and steadfast generosity, as evidenced in our successful Matching Funds Sunday last May.
So to this point, we are pleased to announce that UIL's income is above budget. Yes. So please thank your neighbor. And our expenses are below budget. So please and thank you our staff. Yes. So in summary, for the first half of 2019, UIL is in the black over $4,000. And we closed the first half with over $11,000 in the operating budget. Account, sorry.
So now, we would like to invite all of you into a vision with us. UIL's monthly operating expenses are about $40,000 per month average. Our monthly income averages about $40,000 per month. So as you know, most financial professionals would recommend that people have 3 months of operating expenses in savings. So the board would like to invite you to stand with us and hold the initial vision of $40,000 in reserves, 1 month of operating expenses. Such a vision implies both a continued elevation of income and continued care with our expenses.
So if you have questions or desire greater detail, we invite you to join us at 12:30 for a town hall meeting this afternoon. And in closing, know that in very real ways, this is your community. While many of us initially enter as a consumer, there comes a time for each of us to join with others in co-ownership. And we know that God is our source, and to that end, we remain steadfast and committed to all whispers of divine wisdom that would sustain and elevate this community.
Your board and staff who delight in serving you are grateful for every way in which you participate and support us and each other. Thank you.
And
so it is.
Thank you, John and Julie, and we'll start envisioning those zeros in the bank account. Yeah. Thank you, Nancy Joy. Bada bing, bada boom. Where would I be? All good things happening at Unity in Lynnwood can be found on your printed program by visiting our Facebook page, on our app, or the calendar page of our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
What do you think? So somebody came to my office between services and brought me this beautiful African fabric and these African shirts, and they said, "Oh, they're so comfortable. You'll wear them in your yard." I said, "I'm going to wear this on Sunday." Is this not stunning? Handmade, beautiful fabric. My life is good. My life is good. Now, I should have told you this at the beginning of the service so that you could work out whatever issues you have with me over the course of the hour, but I failed to do so. So we are going to close the service in a different fashion this morning. Take a deep breath. Here's the way I experience this sort of thing to usually work. We listen to an idea such as today, and then we go out for coffee or we go out for lunch and we argue about it. Could that possibly be true? Well, I don't believe that's true. I don't think that'll work. That's different from what I grew up with. You know, we go out and we spend our energies and we spend our time arguing instead of practicing. Instead of taking an idea that says there is something of that frame you carry that is causative to the life you experience and practicing that. So my challenge to you this week would be to argue less and practice. You are such good students. You are such good students. So what we will do today is we will close with the same song with which we open. So the words will appear on the screen, and I'd invite you just to stand with me. If you need to clap for something, go ahead and get it out of your system right now, so that when this experience concludes, you won't feel compelled to do so. And let's close as we always do. If there is a name of a soul you'd like to invite into this musical blessing, just speak it now, please. And so for all of these, and for the soul who stands to your right this morning, and for the soul who stands to your left, for those before you, for those behind you, for the entirety of this holy assembly, we offer these words of blessing.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you.
So we affirm that divine idea we call God. We affirm that. We affirm its sufficiency. We affirm its life. We affirm its wisdom. We affirm its harmony that longs to express through each of us to prove its existence in this world of form.
And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Go in peace, unity in Lynnwood. Have a great week.